Alright, so I'm back, and today I'm going to do another rant of the week. A while ago I did What the Hell Make Toys. Because I think they were making some really poor decisions. So today's going to be What the Hell KFC. I mean, most of this isn't news to anybody, but I just wanted to get this off my chest because I think they're... but first, before we do that, I did that huge video about What the Hell Make Toys, and I'm not going to apologize to them because I do think they're making some bad business decisions lately. But their Computron, now that we've seen more reviews and more pictures, and we also see their pictures of their Scorponok. Touche makes toys. Touche. Those guys look amazing. I have to wait to see where the financial situation falls in the end, but there's a good chance I'll be getting the Computron and the Scorponok, because that thing just looks incredible. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. Yeah, wow. And I don't care if the Scorponok doesn't scale with Metroplex. I never thought... I mean, I know it scales with their Metroplex, but I always thought Metroplex was the biggest, and then Fortress Maximus was supposed to be the second biggest, and then Trypticon's as big as Metroplex, and then Scorponok theoretically should be smaller than Fortress Maximus. So... I mean, if you really think about the logistics of these guys, I mean, Metroplex and Trypticon are, city bots, so they're massive, they're huge. And yes, the other two are city bots as well, but Scorponok is a headmaster in the headmaster continuity. And he's just a standard headmaster. Like, he's just got a standard guy that turns into his head, so... and most of the comic book depictions of him, he's bigger than Grimlock, but he's not like, he's not like Metroplex big. So I would, with the scale that they're making him, I think that's going to be about the perfect scale. He looks a lot thicker and like bulkier, but and that tail looks like a Decepticon logo, which is really cool. So that one I'll probably be getting, and then if they do a Fortress Maximus, because Fortress Maximus should be I would say should be a little bit bigger than Scorponok, because he's a double headmaster, and he could be almost the scale of Metroplex, but I still wouldn't give it quite that much. And I know that's totally negating, the G1 toys, but I think we can all agree on the G1 toy scale is just, there is no G1's toy scale. They were pulling toys from all different companies. We've talked about this many times, but they pull toys from different companies and just throw them together and they call them Transformers. And that just doesn't work for an accurate scale. Great example is I mean, if you really want to say that, oh no, that they were the first, they got it right, and then look at the aerial bots and then look at the Seekers. They used the F-14 or F-15 fighter jet in both those sets, and one's towers over the others. So, anyway, so, what the hell KFC? They... just wow. Here's a company where when I first bought this set here, I absolutely fell in love with them. I thought they were just incredible company, and I was just like, wow, they made some really cool high quality cassettes, and the rest of them look really good. Then I got those other two pieces of junk, Steeljaw and ram horn, and just was thoroughly disappointed with them. And it's like, okay, those were the earlier releases, this was the newer releases, and I was like, okay, I'll give them a little bit more of a shot and keep going with them and, see what happens. And ultimately, though, it's just, first off, it's been 9 months since I ordered the Dino cassettes. 9 months. It was supposed to be out 9 months ago. Wait. Yeah, 9. So, I understand that they said that, we realized that there's some quality control issues and that we have to retool it. Well, seriously? It takes 9 months to retool it? Did you guys, drop the mold? And just have to start completely all over? Because this is it's ridiculous to wait that long. It's like, Mastermind Creations, they're Predacons, and their 6-shot was horribly delayed. Just on and on and on. But at the same time, they're masterful pieces of engineering. These flip open. Are you seriously telling me it takes 9 months to redesign something on something like this? When Mastermind Creations does it in the same time for something like this? Okay, yeah, there's no comparison there. I know Fans Project had some minor delays with the repaint of their Munitioner Explorer, and those issues came with the little shockwave that came with him. So they were delayed by 3 months. That's a third of the time that these things have been delayed on. So that's the first thing. Okay, there's more to this. Their Citizen Stack figure. I've mentioned that before, and I'm sure other people have bitched about this too. Where they make the figure, they sell it, everybody loves it, so they sell out almost everywhere, and then they're like, oh yeah, the next release is going to have the accurate paint job. The first release wasn't accurate so that you guys would have something unique. That's a fuck you, fans, buy it twice. That's not cool. iGear did that a couple times, and I think for the most part they're realizing the backlash is no longer balancing out as well with the funds that they're getting for the products. So that just seemed really stupid for me, from my point of view, for them to do that. They do a repaint, but do the repaint later and do it limited. Like Perfect Effect did the Fortress Maximus, the head, and he looks great. I had him. The head mode is, and the tank mode is. Ooh. But the actual robot mode was absolutely amazing. The paint job was spot on. That thing was amazing. And then now they're doing I think it's the Brave Maximus version of him. Don't quote me on that because I didn't watch the Japanese cartoons. But he's coming out as a limited edition. And a lot of people are really excited about it, and I think the price is going to be about the same. So, don't quote me on that either. But that's the way to do it. It cater to the few people after you cater to the majority of people. So the majority of people can say, "Oh yeah, this product is great. You should get a repaint of this if you're a fan of that." So KFC didn't do it that way. So I think that was a pretty stupid move. Let's see, what else did they do? I mean, I've just been watching them from the sidelines and just was like, are you fucking kidding me? This. Cyclones. It is beyond me why a company would remake a toy that is highly regarded as one of the best in its line, and that being Cyclones. I won't lie, these KFC Cyclones, the jet mode looks a lot better than the Generation Cyclones, but the robot mode for the Generation Cyclones looks so much better than theirs. There's so many things that are just like the proportions don't look right. His arms look a little too chunky. His legs look a little too chunky. His ears are too thick and they go up too far. It's like, why would somebody want to redo a figure that's already really, really good? And it's just kind of beyond me why they would do that. Unique Toys is kind of doing that with they just announced Retgar coming out. But it's also using that mold that they used for the Salamar. I think that's what they called him. But the GoBot motorcycle. So it's like they use that as the GoBot motorcycle, so it caters to the GoBot fans. I'm not a huge GoBot fan, so it caters to other people. But now they're repainting it into something that can cater to the Transformer community, like Retgar, and it's like, okay, I'm tempted. Personally, I'm tempted on that. But if they had just done the Retgar, I wouldn't be tempted, because it'd be like, well, that's just stupid. I wouldn't be tempted out of principle. Unique Toys did the Blaster. There was a Blaster already out, but theirs was much better. So, anyway, I hope you understand what I'm going with that. But the KFC one, he's only a little bit taller than the the Universe 2.0 version. So again, I'm not quite sure why you would do that. I mean, if you're gonna make him, make him the size of the iGear Seekers. Okay, you make him the size of the iGear Seekers, then he's a new size scale. He's bigger. He fits in better with the bigger figures that people are buying now. Or go way out and make him a lot bigger, like Masterpiece Seeker scale, and go Masterpiece Cyclones. Don't make it a classic Cyclones when there's already a classic Cyclones. There's no purpose to that. I mean, seriously, I don't understand why you would do that. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I know a lot of people are excited. We're excited for it, but I mean, honestly, I don't understand why. This thing is, I think it's like $70-something when I can go pick this guy up from eBay for like $20. Or I can pick him up with a hot rod for like $40. It makes no sense to me. This guy is perfectly great. I mean, this is one of the ones, like I said, he's regarded as one of the better figures in the Universe lines, if not the best of the deluxe scale. He's absolutely incredible. It's just amazing mold. I don't know. You couldn't pay me to go near this thing if I was a third-party company. I would be like, no. Why? Just why? There's so many other characters that need to be remade. Make us a Voyager Astro Train. Make us a better Tankor. Make us a Voyager Tankor for Beast Machines. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. I'm buying the deluxe one. I'll probably buy a few of them just so I can build them. But there's so many other characters. You don't need to rehash good ones that were done right. They do And see, that's the other thing that makes no sense to me. The cassettes, I would say, are in scale. I mean, obviously they're in scale with Masterpiece because they actually fit inside the Masterpiece sound wave. But they also work with classics. Okay, that works. Their Ultra Magnus is Masterpiece scale. Not to mention the fact that they decided to do this after everyone knew that there's a Hasbro one coming out, which is coming out real soon now. Which makes me like, why the fuck would you compete with a Masterpiece figure? Competing with classics is one thing, but competing with Masterpiece, that's just suicide. I mean, I know a lot of people purchased it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to unload them right when the actual Masterpiece comes out. And then they make Cyclones in classic scale. iGear for the most part works for large classic small masterpieces. Okay? Unique Toys works for classic scale. Fans Project, Make Toys, classic scale. Mastermind Creations, large classic scale. Fans Toys, masterpiece scale. For the most part, none of these companies bounce back and forth between masterpiece and classic scale because not all fans collect both. I don't collect masterpiece figures. I have a couple, but I wouldn't consider me a collector of them. And people that purchase these things, they have a tendency of having favoritism towards companies. For example, I really like iGear now and TFC, so pretty much and I've always been a huge fan of Unique Toys, so pretty much any new figure that they come out with, I'll probably look into it, if not buy it. I've been burned a few times for Make Toys, so I'm a little hesitant on picking up something for Make Toys. And KFC I absolutely detest at the moment, so it's got to be damn good for me to try that again. So, you build this fan base. Some people still love KFC, and that's fine by them. But not everybody does. So you want to cater to the fan base that you've already built. So if you start working on the cassettes and people are saying, oh, that doesn't work very well for Masterpiece because the sculpts aren't perfect, but it works really great for classics because we're a little bit more forgiving, which is very understandable. Masterpiece means masterpiece. The damn thing better be perfect, or as close to it as you possibly can. So then cater to classics. Don't bounce back and forth. It's stupid to do that. It's stupid to compete with something like Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. I mean, we all know they're gonna make that thing look great. Like they do with all their Masterpiece. Everything. The Seekers weren't the best, or at least the first release of them. The newer ones kind of look a lot better, but the first ones were and the Megatron was especially since he's way out of scale. But for the most part, ever since that, other than that, their Prowl looks just like he just hopped right off the screen. Their Bumblebee looks great. Their Ultra Magnus looks great. The KFC Ultra Magnus, I will give it props for being engineered very well. I like how the fact that you don't have to take the cab off and just like parts form it into the trailer. I think that's great. If they would have done that in like an ultra scale, make it. I would even go as far to say make it about his size. I would probably buy that. But being that he's in a very large Masterpiece scale, I'm not gonna get that for a Classics collection. I'm not gonna get the Masterpiece one for Classics collection either. So if they would have done that in a Classic scale, then I probably would have given it a shot. But they didn't. So maybe they will at some point because I hear rumors that they were going to do that. But Yeah. Yeah, right. So it's like, I'm not understanding their company. They've pissed me off a few too many times. I do have one thing still on pre-order, but I am officially writing them off as a company I buy from. I absolutely cannot stand their business practices. The fact that, you get a notice when you get a KFC figure in the mail and it says, dear customer, we cannot promise this figure's gonna be any good, but don't call us. Call KFC because we can't afford to replace all their broken shit. Yeah, that's the not so nice way of putting it, but that's what I've gotten. I've got that notice a couple times from like TF Source and Big Bad Toy Store. Just like, these figures are shit. Just warning you. It's like, okay, well, that's not good. And it's like, at first I was kind of going to forgive them for it. And, their decisions on releasing figures also, like the Bad Bat coming with black Bad Bat, or the other two different colored bats that came with a cage, or you can buy the Soundwave figure with Bad Bat. Either way, you're spending way more money than you need to on one single figure. That when they first started making toys, they were selling single sets at $20 to $25 a piece. That's a great price. I mean, that's what I bought all my Masterpiece cassettes for, so I would be happy to pay that. I don't want to have to buy a 2-pack unless the 2-pack's great, like two different figures, not two of the same thing repainted. It's just stupid that they do it that way. And yeah, let's talk about the Soundwave mold for a second. Okay, so it comes out, let's see, what did they use it for first? Perceptor. So it's trying to replace Perceptor from the Generations line, which is overly complicated beyond comprehension. I absolutely cannot stand that figure. I think it's a really piss poor job of engineering. But once you get into robot mode, it makes me question, like, why would I replace this with something, 5 times as expensive? I mean, or at least 4 times as expensive. I mean, that makes no sense to me. Why I would do that? Well, he was originally $10, and I think they were selling him for $70, so it's like 7 times the amount. That's just crazy. I mean, they're trying to fill a void of a figure that's not voided, if that makes sense. And it's not like Perceptor was a very hard to come by figure. He was a regular release. Anyway, so I mean, that didn't make sense. Then they repainted him white as Scalpel, which is, again, really weird that they would do that, because Scalpel was the little white squid thing from the second Transformers movie. And he didn't look like Perceptor. Yeah, he turned into a magnifying glass, but or not magnifying glass. It's my mind's not working today. Microscope. He turned into a microscope, but it's like, I don't, other than that, I don't really see a connection there. So, anyway, and then they do Soundwave. They teased a blaster, and I think they're doing somebody else with him now, too. And I just sit there, it's like, are you fucking... Oh, and then did a black version. Of course they did the black version. They always do a black version. I can't stand the fact that everything they do, they have to repaint black and release it as the Special edition black version. Everything they do has a black version. I'm waiting for the black KFC, Nemesis Ultra Magnus. It's coming. I can promise you it's coming. I can promise you their Cyclones is going to get painted black. Everything they have is painted black. It's like they listen to the Rolling Stones all the time. Okay, sorry. I mean, that's what I'm saying about this company. Like, nothing they do is making any sense to me anymore. At first, yes, they're making masterpiece cassette figures for the cassettes that weren't released. I get that. That's great. These things are great. I love them. They were awesome. The first two were not as good, but they got better as they were going. 9 months after they announced, or they said the Dinobot cassette, or the Dino cassettes were supposed to be out, I'm still waiting. I pre-ordered, I purchased them. You know, it's one of those pre-orders where I actually already paid for it. So, and I kind of hesitant on trying to cancel it because, you know, it's not TF Source's fault. And they do say that they don't cancel it. Occasionally I could get them to do it for me, but I kind of like, I've done that too many times, I think, and I don't want to push my luck. So, yeah. But I mean, it's just, KFC, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? They're doing Sharktacons now. Okay, so they're doing these really weird looking cyber sharks that don't look like the right cyber sharks, and they're doing the Robots in the Sky Skybite, which, I mean, is gonna fail utterly because, one, the Robots in the Sky Skybite is amazing as it was. The original mold of it would still hold up today. It's still great, and it's not that hard to track it down, and it's not that expensive. The Beast Wars Cyber Shark figure, again, if you find it loose, you might have some chromeware, but if you get it in the box, which shouldn't be that hard, let's see here. I'm gonna pull up eBay real quick. See if I can find. Let's see. R.I.D. Skybite. Oh, search is found. Okay. Let's try Transformers. Not seeing it. Let's do cyber. Okay. Going bid for Beast Force Transpal 2 Cybershark, brand new inbox. $10 for a $15 toy. Loose $15, buy it now. $10, $25, buy it now in box. Yeah, I can't find the Skybite, but I'm not going to look too hard. You know, I know he's there. I've seen him. But yeah, I mean, it's like, why would you do that? And then I think they're repainting one as a pirate, which is, okay, maybe they're referencing something from a comic book or something, but this is something that escapes me entirely. So it makes no sense to me why they would do that. I think they're gonna, obviously they're gonna repaint one black, and then they're probably going to repaint one as the Energon Sharktacon. And they'll probably repaint them as Sharktacons. But it's like, okay, there's another market that I don't understand why you would jump into. First off, you got iGear and Unique Toys making Sharktacons. So it's not like there's a market there. You have the BotCon exclusive Cyber Sharks, repainted as Sharktacons. You have the Energon Sharktacon, who's not expensive. I think he's like going for $10 too. RID Skybite. You know, I couldn't find him real quick, but I know he's there. If you're really looking for him, I'm sure you can find him for a good price. Transmetal 2 Cyber Shark, again, he's there, pretty cheap. And not to mention that Hasbro Skybite is coming out any time now. So why would you jump into that market so heavily? I mean, they went balls deep in that thing. It's like, why? What purpose could that possibly serve? You know, you really think there's that many people that are like, ooh, I want a Cyber Shark that doesn't look like Cyber Shark. I want Sharktacons that don't look like Sharktacons. I want Skybite that kind of looks like Skybite, but the Hasbro version's better, but I'm going to buy this expensive third-party guy instead. There's not going to be a whole lot of people that do that. And I think it's really, really stupid, bad business for them to do that. And finally, I know this rant has gone on a long time, but these guys have really made me scratch my head. Now they're doing the new cassettes. They're calling it the Best of the Scorpions, which is clever. I give them clever for that one. And what these 3 cassettes are, they're repaints of each other, but they go from cassette to Scorpion. And they've got one painted as G1 Scorponok, one painted as... I'm going to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt and say that it's a Beast Wars Scorponok and not just a black repaint. Because that's what it really looks like to me, is just a black repaint. But Beast Wars Scorponok was black. Maybe they actually did it right this time. And then I think Energon Scorponok or Dark, I don't know, one of the other Scorponoks. So and I know how they're going to sell it. They're not going to sell it individually. They are going to sell it in a 3-pack. You're not going to get a choice. And it's going to be, I'm going to guess $45 for 3 repaints of the same Scorpion that was never cassette. While their Dino cassettes still sit in the back, not being released. So there you go. I know. I actually lost my cool for a minute, because there was actually a point where I actually got really, really confused and upset. But yeah, there's my rant of the week. KFC, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Just wow. Just wow. Question of the day, real quick for it, is what are your guys' thoughts on them? I mean, like I said, I used to really like them, and now they are the absolute bottom. Well, it's Crazy Debbie. Maybe they're not the worst company out there, but they are pretty low. Which brings me to my my next video, which I will be doing soon. Is I'm gonna put together my top 5. I'm gonna try doing just a top 5 third-party companies, or top 5 best third-party companies and top 5 worst third-party companies. In my opinion, I'm gonna get shit for it, but I don't care.